and beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself.
Shalom, children. Today we are going to be taking a deeper look at this week's Torah portion to see where it speaks of Yeshua Ha'Mashiach. We are in the book of Bereshit. The parasha this week is called Vayishlach, which in Hebrew means, "and he sent." Let's hear a summary of the parashat. Jacob returns to the land of his fathers after a 20-year stay in Haran. He sends messengers to Esav with the hope of making peace. The messengers return with news that Esav is on his way with 400 men. Jacob is afraid and prays to Elohim. He then tells his servants to take a large gift of many animals to Esav in the hope of calming him down. That night, Jacob ferries his family and all their possessions across the Yabok River. Jacob stays behind. Whilst he is alone, he encounters a man with whom he wrestles until the day breaks. During the tussle, this man touches Jacob's hip and it dislocates. The man tells Jacob he has a new name. He will now be known as Yisrael, which means Elohim prevails. Jacob and Esav meet, they embrace and kiss, but then go separate ways. Jacob purchases a plot of land near Shechem. The prince of the land, who is also called Shechem, sees Jacob's daughter Dinah and desires to have her for his wife. He takes her by force, bringing disgrace both to her and Israel. Dinah's brothers, Shimon and Levi, seek to take revenge on Shechem. They convince all the men in the city to be circumcised, and whilst they lay recovering, the two brothers go in and kill them all. Dinah is released and brought back home to their father. After this incident, Jacob must now leave the city, and so journeys on towards Beit El. As they travel, Rachel dies whilst giving birth to her second son, Benjamin, and is buried near Beit Lechem. Jacob arrives in Hebron to his father Yitzhak, who dies some time later, aged 180 years old. Yeshua said, "If you believed Moshe, you would believe me, because he wrote about me." So let's dig a bit deeper to see if we can find Yeshua in the scriptures. In our parashat today, we have another example of someone being described as a man, but when we read on, we realize there is more to the story. The parasha begins with Jacob sending messengers on a task. We can know there is something special about these messengers, because Jacob later instructs men who were called servants to do another task, that is, taking gifts to Esav. Moshe takes great care to show us the difference between the two. The word messenger in Hebrew is malach. It can mean a man sent out on a task, or a heavenly angel. There is not much information about angels in the scriptures, but let's take a look at a few occasions where they are made known for us, to see if we can further understand what they do. King David wrote in the Psalms how angels can offer protection. He said, He shall give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. And in their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. And in another psalm he wrote, The angel of Adonai encamps around those who fear Yahweh. There is an incredible account of angels in the book of Kings. During the time of the prophet Elisha, the king of Syria was making war against Israel. Elisha's servant got up early one morning and saw the army surrounding the city and became very afraid. Elisha said to him, Do not be afraid, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Elijah had then prayed for Elohim to open the eyes of his servant. The eyes of the young man were opened, and he saw that the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire. This reminds me of the dream Jacob had. Do you remember? He saw angels ascending and descending on the Sulam. And now we know who the Sulam is. When we study the scriptures, we learn heavenly messengers have another role. In the letters to the Hebrews, Shaul wrote, They are all ministering spirits, sent forth to minister to them who shall be heirs of salvation. Minister means to attend to the needs of someone and to serve them. Yeshua was ministered to by heavenly messengers on several occasions. After he had been tested by Hasatan in the wilderness and left alone, angels came and ministered to him. And on the night Yeshua was arrested, he had prayed to the Father, Not my will but yours be done. Then an angel appeared to him from heaven, strengthening him. Now let's take a closer look at the mysterious man who suddenly appeared and wrestled with Jacob. Children, have you ever broken a bone? If you have, you will know how painful it can be. You will also know it takes quite a lot of force to break bones, such as falling from a great height. Yet we read in our parashah, the man touched Jacob's hip and wrenched it out of its socket. This man had unusual strength. He could move bones with just one touch. I am reminded of the many times Yeshua healed the lame. A simple touch from him was enough to restore twisted bones back into place. After wrestling with the man, Jacob announced, I saw the face of Adonai and lived. But how was that possible? Adonai would later tell Moshe, You cannot see my face, for no man shall see me and live. Well, children, do you remember when Abraham looked up from his tent and met with Elohim? He had then served him food and washed his feet. You see, Yahweh had appeared in the form of a man. The disciple Yochanan, when teaching about Yeshua, wrote, The Word became flesh and dwelt amongst us. And later, Shaul wrote, He gave up his divine privileges, took on the form of a servant when he appeared in human form. So, children, we can conclude it was Yeshua who appeared as a man to Abraham, and Yeshua was the one wrestling with Jacob. A wonderful lesson can be learned from Jacob's struggle. As they fought, the man said, Let me go, for the day breaks. But Jacob replied, "I will not let you go until you bless me." It was then that Jacob was given a new name. The man said, "Now your name is Israel, because you have overcome." And children, it is the same for us today. When we go through a struggle, that is a difficult time, like Jacob, we should cling on to Yahweh. In the last book of our Bibles it reads, "To him who overcomes, I will give him a white stone, and on the stone a new name is written." That's right, children, like Jacob, we will get a new name. Yeshua added, "To him who overcomes, I will grant to sit with me on my throne." Isn't that a wonderful promise? Well, children, that is the end of our study for today. So we will see you next time when we search the scriptures together. Shalom.